Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to have another video of my series having conversations with my peers at a general surgery residency here at Larkin Community Hospital. Today we have Dr. Necial Marcelin. He's from Haiti, but we're going to talk a little bit more about his interesting story. So welcome, but thank you very much for joining me in this series of videos. And let's start. Okay. So my first question for all these listeners and viewers, tell me a little bit more about yourself. Who are you? Where are you coming from? And all the background, so all the people can get to know you a little bit more.
Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you, Dr. Jesus, for this amazing job you are doing for our community and also for our programs at Larkin Community Hospital. And I am Necial Marcelin. I'm come from Haiti, like you said before, and I was born in Jacmel. This is a very far, province in Haiti and Benin, and I born with a farmer family, and I grew up with my mom and my dad, and I did most of my primary school in Haiti and also my secondary school, and my family pushed me a lot, so that's why I say thank for my family every time. And after that, and when I finished my secondary school, I go to Cuba in Santiago de Cuba, where I did my medical school. And after that, when I finished my medical school, I went to Madrid, Spain, when I did, a resident in general surgery, and also I studied health public because my first thought at the beginning was to come back to Haiti and to help my community. That's why I studied first, health public. And in 2015, so we decided to come here in the US, and here I am.
Awesome, awesome. That's a very interesting story. So you was born and raised in Haiti, then studied medicine in Cuba, and then did your general surgery in Spain, Madrid. Are you from fan of Real Madrid?
Yeah, of course.
Good.
Yeah.
Me too. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, and after that, you decided to come to the U.S. So let me ask you why? Why did you decided to come to the U.S. if you already finished your surgery residency in Spain? What make you change that?
Yeah, this is a very good question because most of time, people ask me, "Hey, why you come to the U.S.?" In 2015, my hospital in Madrid, Severo Ochoa Hospital in Leganes, they sent me to Cleveland Clinic, Ohio,
Hmm.
to do a training in colorectal surgery. And when I was there, I was like, fun for the for the U.S. Health system. And after that, I asked myself, I said, hey, definitely we have to come here. And even though I do everything again, like I did, but this is why, I am here. When I was in Cleveland, I have a lot of friends and they push me a lot. They say, hey, Marcelino, you have to come to the US, and I decided with my family, we will make a hard decision.
Okay.
This is what we did, but thank God now I am here, and and I'm doing again my residency, but I feel happy, and because I'm passionate with surgery, and let's see what how things going on.
That's amazing. So let me ask you something that I believe it's important, because for most of IMGs, a lot of people come through different countries. The primary language is not English. I find this one of the biggest obstacles for foreign medical graduates to come to the U.S. and kind of try to make a better route in the journey. So what is your primary language?
My primary language is French and Creole.
It's a
So,
Creole and French.
yeah,
So you need to learn Spanish first
yes,
when you go to
yes,
Cuba and then to
exactly.
Madrid,
Yeah,
and now
yeah,
then English.
yeah. And I agree with you. I remember the first time I went to Cuba,
Uh-huh.
I didn't know even how to do, how to say water, in Spanish.
Oh,
So I remember I went to Cuba in 2001, and I have to study Spanish first.
of course.
And I went in February, and from February to August, we have to start the school, and I didn't know any Spanish.
Oh my God.
And when I went here in the US in 2017, the hardest part, for my adaptation and to take residency here was the English. you know,
Of
and I
course.
have to pass twice, the OET test. In
So what did you
order,
do to learn English? Like what tips can you give the people to learn English?
okay. So first of all, this is just motivation. If you are motivated, I think everything can come true.
Okay, yeah,
I remember,
absolutely.
yes,
Yes.
you are motivated and you're passionate about something. My passion was I have to match in the US. The first thing I did is just I come in 2017 in September and November I was in at night I was at the high school English course that was in
Hmm.
ESOL
Okay.
together with my wife
Uh-huh.
and we went I remember the school started at 8 or 9 and the first thing was go to the English course, the ESOL. And after that, so I'm listening a lot when I am in my car. I
Hmm.
listen a lot, radio and English, and also at home. Most program I watch is on TV is English, and also I buy some books and CDs and to hear listen. I think the most difficult part is the listening. It's
Yeah.
not really the writing part, but
Uh-huh.
the listening is tough. It was tough
Yeah.
for me to listen when people speak to me, even though now I still have some job. My advice for IMG people like me, people that sacrifice a lot their life to to be a physician. If they come here, don't care about English.
Hmm.
Even though you don't speak like me perfectly, but that doesn't mean you can't match or you can't pass the USMLE exam. Because
Correct.
when I passed both exams, my English was really really bad. Yeah, it's still I still working in my English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. I mean, that's very important advice that I always give to the IMGs. Even though it is very important to learn, speak, communicate in English, because of course you have to take care of the patients and everything is in English. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily needs to be on 100%. You need to be able to communicate your ideas and understand the patient and your colleagues, also, of course. But you will have a pronunciation, you will have an accent, and that's okay. That just means that you speak more than one language. Okay, so that's and in his case you speak four. So is that I think and now I'm going to the good part of it,
Okay.
the benefits of being, in your case, speaking four languages. I mean, do that help you with the patients and communicate with with
Yeah.
our community?
Yeah. Thank you. I think it's a big plus when you speak, a lot of languages. Like in my case, sometimes, I work before in Halia Hospital. Sometimes they have patients that speak Creole, and now here too, and and Larkin Community Hospital.
Hmm.
I remember last time, Dr. Master have a patient, a lady with, with the surgery, and the lady, and she come here when she see me, I speak Creole. She was like, a big smile.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I can explain
It's a
to
big
her
difference.
exactly. It's a big difference. And like you said before too, when you speak more than one or two languages, so the other one will, if you want to learn an extra language, that will be more easy. Like when you speak French, I think you understand Italian. You speak Spanish, you understand
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah,
So you have
correct.
a plus. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Good. So now let's talk a little bit about something else. I always like to ask, how was it for you to prepare for the steps exams? What kind of resources do you use? And how important, how long it took you to pass all the exams?
Um, in my case, I start studying, for the USMLE when I first come, because I was like, hey, I have to pass my exam. And when I first come here, I was working in the morning.
Hmm.
I was working with a guy in Coral Gables and research. Where we did a big research and PAVF, percutaneous arteriovenous fistula, and I was working with him. And when I get the back, to work, and I go to the library. It was in the FIU library, and I go for all the night. Sometimes even 12. I was in the library. So it wasn't easy. So
Yeah.
like I want most people to know, or most IMG or most physician, that come from and foreign physician is not easy when you come here. you have to work sometime and you have to study at the same time. So what I did first and is pass the step 2 first,
Okay.
because I at that time I take that decision because I know I have a lot of clinical knowledge. I say, hey, I would pass the step 2 first, and I passed the step 2 first, step 2 CK.
Okay.
And after that, in November 2018, I started to prepare for the step 1. For this step 2 CK, the most one of very valuable books I studied was a master board. I didn't really use the first aid to study
Okay.
for the step 2. I used the master board, and at that time Kaplan have 7 books,
Mm-hmm.
tiny books. I read them, and I do all the UWorld question,
Mm-hmm.
and also I remember at that time also I do all the Kaplan question,
Okay.
and I did pretty well. And also I did all the NBME preparation question exam. At my time it was only two exam
Okay.
for this step 2. And for this step 1, when I prepared for this step 2 in 2018, it was like a first aid. Only with the first aid, I
Mm-hmm.
think it was like I already passed step 2. I know how the exam it is, so
Okay.
I just use only first aid for to prepare for this step
And
1.
you world, like the Qbanks were Qbank.
Yeah,
You world.
you all, I think is key.
Mm-hmm.
You will help me a lot. I think you have to do the question. You have to read also all the uh, not only do the question but review all the wrong and correct question and see the
Correct.
explanation,
Yes.
because sometimes this is the same question in the exam but they just change it. So you have to review all the explanation and review all the correct and incorrect question.
Correct. I
Yeah.
mean, the U World is a Qbank for those who doesn't know, but it's a learning tool. It's not an evaluation tool. So I always explain my mentees that you need to use the Qbanks as a learning curve. You have to read all the correct answers, the wrong answers, and learn what was the main topic of that questions, and then keep going. And don't really care much about the percentage of correct answers at the beginning, especially because you're learning. That's why you have the assessment tools, which are the question, this
Yeah.
assessment tool and the MBMEs. Then you use those as an assessment for how good are you doing. Okay, so that's interesting. Not everybody does this. Like
Mm.
usually people take
Step 1
step
first.
one first and then step two, like my case and most of the people. But I've seen people that did that mainly people with previous
Yeah.
clinical experience. And
Mm.
I guess it is a good idea. But it's up to you. That's also nice to let the people know that you can take the steps. It doesn't have it's not in an order.
Mm.
You can take the step two first and then step one. So that's an
Yeah.
option too. Okay, so uh, after you finish your step two, when you both of your steps, what other experience did you gain or did you have for for your CV while you were working and doing? What else were you doing?
Yeah. Good question. Thank you too for the question. After I finished in 2018, I do I work a lot as a surgical assistant because
Okay.
I have my first kid. At that time, and my head is not just much at the same time, but it was like working and to move on with my family. So
Yeah,
I work
paying the bills.
exactly pay the bills. So I start working at a Hialeah hospital as a surgical assistant, and I work also at North Shore a hospital. And at Hialeah, most of the time I work in general surgery. That's really good for me. I know the system. I know most how the system work. That is very, very, very good for me too. I learn a lot of experience because it's not the same. Even though I work in Madrid before, like attending general surgeon, but here the system is really different.
Mhm.
So my goal at that time was to know how the system work.
Okay.
And at Halia also I work on OBGYN, and I work in even doing auto. Um, and then offshore hospital it was like an OBGYN, doing C-section. And I have a little experience in plastic because in 2021 I work in private clinic and
Mhm.
plantation, most with my community, Haitian community and Jamaican community, with a plastic private clinic, plastic and plantation.
Okay.
So both all this experience they helped me a lot. Not only for the match, but also for personal experience
Of
and know
course.
the system, how the system work. Yeah.
And what about all this experience? Does these doctors that you work with, did they give you a letter of recommendations? How do you think it's important to create your own network? You know, networking, getting to know people who can recommend and put their worth in on your name to other people. What do you think about this? How important is networking?
After my experience, sometimes I talk to friends or uh, when I give experience to IMG or even though US student, I say here maybe in this country, it's sad to say that, but it's not what you know, but it is who you know.
Correct.
Yeah, because some people think sometimes if they have 260 in the exam they will match, but sometimes it's not work. When you know somebody, they know you work well, and they know you're a very cool guy and you can make the job done, so they
Hmm.
can give you a good letter of recommendation. I remember in Haiti, I have a guy, Dr. Bali, always he told me, you have to be physician in this country. And I will work hard for you to be a physician. And I can tell you, he make a lot of connection for me and give me a letter of recommendation. And most of my letter of recommendation, they coming from people I know, in Halia Hospital or in Coral Gables I work too, or in North Shore. Because when people know you, and they
Hmm.
will help you a lot and give you advice though, which program they will think what would fit for you. And also, the advice I think is key to, because they already passing the system, they know, how to do things. And when they will give you advice, you have to take it. And
Of
trust
course.
me, if you trust them, you'll be successful in your life. Yeah.
That takes me to the next question, because I'm always saying, I'm myself, I'm a mentor and a tutor for some IMGs that I've been helping throughout all these years. Um, and I did have myself a tutor and a mentor for this process. And I believe a lot of IMGs or people from different countries, then we're not used to have mentors or tutors or people who coaches you and kind of guide you through the journey. I believe here that's very, very important to somebody that tells you do this and do that, or don't do this, or push you to do something different that make you uncomfortable, but that uncomfortability is going to make you change for the better.
Exactly.
So that's what I think it is very important. So do you have mentors and tutors, people to help you throughout this journey?
Yeah, and before I keep on, thank you for your what you did, because before I come here, I know you in social media. I know the work you did for the community, most for the IMG, you know. So thank you so much for your service,
Oh, thank you.
and I think you deserve much people to know you, the work you do, and thank you again. So I have mentor. Like I told you before, Dr. Bali. This is one. He was one of my mentors, and
Hmm.
to help me, Dr. Medeiros helped me a lot, and Dr. Morris too. Dr. Morris. Wow, he gave me a lot of advice. And how to, even though when I did my US, my US application,
Hmm.
Dr. Morris was like, every single part of the application. He just want to know, which things I put in the application, how I have to do it, because he review
So he
everything.
review everything, give you
Exactly.
feedback, and then you
Exactly.
change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. That's
And
that's
even though I remember he bring me at his clinic at the final part, he told me every single part of the application, what was wrong, what I have to change,
uh,
what thing I have to put here and here. Wow. I think everybody, every IMG, if you can have a mentor that to guide you
mhm.
how to do things, that would be better, much better. Because
Amazing.
it's not the same. The
Of
system
course.
is really different. It's not the same. You do residency in Europe or in Venezuela, or you come from Colombia. This is a complete different system. You need somebody that to guide you. If you don't have anybody, maybe you can success, but the percentage of success will be very low if you don't have nobody to
Correct.
help you. Yeah.
Correct. That's very important. That's why I always, you know, if you have any question, you can DM me or send me a message. I can help you out through this journey as well. But okay, knowing this, I want to know, how do you knew about Larkin Community Hospital? How did you ended up applying here? And what things make you put us as a your first option?
Um, when I was applying for programs, and the first thing I was looking for first is community program, because in community program you have a lot of hands-on, so you can do a lot of stuff. While when you are in a university program, maybe you could have some research, but there's less hands-on. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I will apply for most community program because I can do a lot of things. This is the first thing. The second thing, I was looking for a program that work with Latino communities because I study in Cuba. I passed 10 years in Spain. I speak Spanish very well. My wife is Cuban, and also I look at which kind of population Larkin gives serve like a population. I see Latinos community, Haitian,
Mm-hmm.
a Brazilian community. I say, oh, definitely. I said, definitely this program fit to me. And when I look at also, the diversity in this program,
Mm-hmm.
I see there is, IMG coming from all over the world,
Correct.
so I say, wow, I think, this program will be fit for me. And I have to, and I see you online, and the social
Yeah.
media. I say, oh, wow, definitely I have to apply for this program. Yeah.
That's great. Yes, definitely. Larkin has changed the game for IMGs, especially in the South Florida area, and I believe this is a one of a kind uh, program and one of a kind hospital in the nation. We are very IMG friendly. We believe and care about diversity. I think that's something that we have to show to the people and to the world because that's very important. That's characteristics that you don't see in other places.
Hmm.
So that's great, and of course you're super welcome. And one of the things that like to all the residents when because we as Dr. Masrick, which is our program director, he always tell to us that this is our program and we made the decisions. The residents made the decisions from the program. So we do. Of course, we meet and we start reviewing all the applicants. One of the main things that we check, and it's not only, of course, the scores are important, your letter of recommendations are very important, who recommended you, and uh, research in our case is not super important, but experience, yes, it's very important for us, and your surgical experience. But one of the main things is your how are you as a person. So that's why, and this is the next question, how was for you, you did a sub I here, a sub internship rotation, and the fact that we get to know you as a person here, who how are you, if you are reliable, if you are humble, if you are respect, or if you respect your peers, if you are happy as a if you're easy to get along with, or if you are all these characteristics is very important because you're going to be with us for 5 years and we are a small group of people, so we try always to work with
Okay,
in a
family.
nice as a
Yeah.
family and a
Yeah.
nice environment. So we recommend people to do a internship, to go to a hospital you want to rotate or you want to do this the residency with.
Um, yes. I know. You mean if I
If
what
you Who
we
you recommend
recommend? Yeah, of
people go to do sub internships or observerships or rotations.
definitely. If I have to recommend this program or this hospital to do people to do, rotation, observership, or internship, definitely 100%. Because what I see here, like you said before, this is a very small family. Everybody know who is who, and I have only 1 month here, but I already feel like I am in family. I'm very very happy, and definitely yes, if I know anybody that's want to do any observership, please come with our program. We are open, and also here you will have a fantastic, a wonderful experience here at Larkin.
So correct, and one of the things that I always, if you follow me on Instagram on all my social media, always explain or talk a lot about networking. And when you get to know people, you need to be humble. You need to be genuine. You need to be, and you need to listen before talking. And those are the things that we saw on you. That you were a good listener, and you were proactive, and you were easy to work with, and that's why we decided to put it in the top of the list. And that's a recommendation that I give to all the IMGs. Try to go to the places you want to work with, make them get to know you. Show them your how are you as a person, as a nice person. Not only your knowledge, but how your attitude to life, how your positive vibe, being always proactive to work with people. That's very, very
Hmm.
extremely important.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question will be, what would you recommend to all the people that is listening or watching this video on YouTube? What would you recommend to the IMG community? Uh, what can they do to improve their probability to match, especially in surgery? Surgery is a very
Yeah.
difficult
Very difficult. Yeah.
specialty to match, especially for IMGs in a categorical uh, position. So, what would you recommend? What things you believe are very important that you need to have in your CV in order to match?
So, like you said before, I think one of things that's if you are IMG and you want to, to match in a competitive, programs, like, general surgery is really competitive. So I think you need some, experience, in the US. Like, if you want to come to the Larkin, so you can come here at Larkin and make people know you, how Dr. Jesus said before. And also you can go, other places. But I think it's key to have some experience here, even though it's an observership for 2 months. When you know people and people know you too, they know how you work,
Mm-hmm.
and you know the system too, how the system work. Most programs give, a lot of, importance to that. They know you already know the system. And also, people sometimes they come here but they don't work. See, if you're already a general surgeon in your country and you come here, just if you can work for 1 or 2 years as a surgical assistant, so that will give you also a lot of knowledge of the system, how the system work. And some programs also give a lot of value to that. And also one thing also, and make people know you. you know it could be like, research. Yeah, you could do research, because some program, value the research,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's really, like 50 or 60% important. You have a ton of research. It's not a ton of research that would make program choose you, even though they note you make in the exam. Right now, I know a lot of program. I have a friend. He marched in New York and Nassau University, and he did, all the residency. And when he marched, his score not was so high,
Mm-hmm.
but they know him. He worked over there. He did a, observership over there for 3 months. Every people in the service know him, how he worked, because he did surgery in Ciudad Real in Madrid, and they already know the guy,
Of
and he
course.
matched. So I think you have to get out, make people know you, make people know you are a great people. You're humble, you work very well. You are active people. You take decision. So I think this is key, to get out and make people know you.
Correct. Uh, I mean, as always explained, there is no formula to match, but there's definitely different opportunities that you're gonna have depending on where you want to match. There's community hospitals, there's very university hospital, prestigious hospitals, none that's no super prestigious hospitals. It's a wide variety of options, and depending on what you want to do, you have to kind of uh, arrange your profile and your CV towards that, which is important. So it depends on where you want to match. So there's so many things that you can
And
do and you can text in the way. Um, Another question.
and before the question, Jesus, I'm so sorry. And one of the key, important, I think, like you said before, have somebody to guide you. Have a
Yes,
mentor, somebody that know the system, how everything work. Not only you get out and you do observation, you do internship, whatever, but have somebody,
it's very
yeah,
important.
to guide you, because this system, if you don't know the system,
Yeah,
it's better for somebody to guide
that's
you.
super
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
That's very important to say. So having a mentor is important, no, but also having a support team is important. No? In this case, in my case, of course, my wife, my family, and friends, and also people that I studied together with through all those years. How was that important for you? How was your support system? You know, your family, friends, people that was doing the same.
Yes. So I don't have other words to say. Thank you for most of my friends and also my family, my wife. Throughout the system of this preparation. I think most people will see that it's very draining, economically and mentally and
Mm-hmm.
physically. It's draining. So if you don't have adequate support, at one point you will feel you need support. So you have people to support you. It could be your wife, it could be your brother. In my case, my wife, she was, uh, all the way, every step, all the way, she was with me, and he said, "Hey, keep going.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to work alone, I would work, but you keep going."
Correct.
And my brother also worked with me, and all my coworkers. I don't want to mention one or two, but every single one, and where I work, they say, "Hey, Dr. Marcelin, you have to be much in this country," and also, physician. Wow, it was, I have a lot of support from so many people, so I think you will need it. Yeah, the support
That's,
is,
I
yeah.
mean, that's part also of mental health, and you know, having a good support team is very, very, very important, especially if you're an IMG, you're here. Sometimes you don't have all your family, but if you, for some reason you don't have your family here and you are by yourself, it's important to have a community. You know, there's a lot of IMG communities out there helping each other. We have Project IMG, for example, to help. We create events twice a year, one here in Miami and the other in New York. And we are creating online as well communities that we can study together at the same time. Let's say we arrange a place and an hour and let's do some questions together. I think that's very important. You know, involved with people that are doing the same that have the same goals. It's very important to reach that goal that you're setting for your life. So it's very important, the support, and that's why I always want to talk about this. Mental health is very important as well. Okay, so to wrap up and finish this very nice conversation, um, what would you say, to all these aspiring surgeons that are watching this video all over the world? We don't know, they could be anywhere in this world, and they want to come to the United States, and they're really, really, that's their dream. What would you say to them, motivational, uh, to inspire them to continue pushing forward and come, study, and match? Just inspirational
Yeah.
words.
First thing, again, Jesus, thank you so much for this conversation. And I think, the work you are doing for the world, and not only for the Latinos community, but for the world, because you have all the IMG people. And thank you so much. And guys, if you can go to the IMG event at New York, I think Jesus will be at the event.
Yes.
This is that kind of thing you have to get out, make people know you. And this kind of event, people will know you. This is a good opportunity also to exchange opinion, exchange, experiences. So I think this is this kind of, activity. So you have to show up and make people and got a lot of experience. For me, I think for IMGs that coming from abroad and that want to be, marching surgery here, one thing I can tell them is be, perseverant, and also, if you have the goal to marching surgery, so you will, and if you make the effort, you will. And like I said before, don't say, "Hey, I can't pass the OET test." If no, you have to pass it. And if you have, to take a course online, in my case, I told you before, I passed the OET test twice. So, but every step of the way, my family, my friend, they will support me and they say, "Hey, you don't give up. You will pass this exam for
Of
sure."
course. Yeah.
So this is just a motivation, and you have a goal, you have a dream, and you want to make this dream true, and you have to be motivated. And when you come here to, please take advice. Search for people that already did it that can give you advice. This is what I did when I first come here. I just look for people that already did it, and I ask them for advice. What I have to do, where I have to start, because here, if you don't have anybody to guide you, you will be lost.
Correct.
Set some people that can guide you. It could be a friend, it could be Jesus that have a social network, and he like to help people. I know he already have a lot of IMG people. You can have Jesus as to guide you, or even though me, you can contact me. I can guide you. I don't mind. So search people to guide you, people. Guys, this is I think this is the key.
Perfect. So thank you very much. I think one of the things that I always say is that we have to help each other as a community. That's why I'm doing this, because I believe when I came here years ago, maybe, and I came in 2018. There were some resources, but not really something organized for us. For IMGs, was very difficult to get information. Now we're trying to create this to get access to everyone, to help each other. Community is very important. So I think that's key. The other thing that I want to say is that we're not different. We're not more than you guys. Exactly. We're not better. We're not special. We're the same. So if we did it, you're gonna do it too. You just need to be mentally focused and be persistent, consistent, and you will do it. So we're not different. We're the same people. Okay. So you have to say no to good things to say yes to extraordinary things, and extraordinary things are gonna come to your life when you have a plan, and that will make you be a successful person. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything.
I hope you guys, if you like this video, like, you can comment anything, question that you have. Please subscribe on the link below, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Ciao. How
Ciao.
You say bye in Creole?
Au revoir.
Au revoir in French. In Creole too?
Yeah, Creole,
Au revoir.
French,
Okay.
au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
Thank you.
Bye bye.